I'm Des Clark, and this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks four opinionated panellists to put it back together again. And with me are four fantastic comedians. On my right, we have Raymond Mearns and Ria Lina, and facing them are Athena Cook-Blenu and Jim Smith. In the news this week, Wetherspoons is to open its first pub outside the British Isles at Alicante Airport in Spain. In keeping with Wetherspoons' policy, the toilets will be in Portugal. Sir Keir Starmer has apologised to a head teacher after leading primary school children in a version of the viral 6-7 dance meme. He then explained to the head teacher that it wasn't him who started it and blamed 14 years of Conservative rule. A road in Northern Ireland called Prince Andrew Way is set to be renamed after a council vote to change it. Meanwhile, in Scotland, a sign for Prince Andrew Close will remain in place, but just as a warning. Right, you've met the teams. Let's crack on with round one. This is the Broken News round, where our teams have to guess two major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. So, Raymond and Ria, can you tell me what this is all about?
The Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, has announced a raft of private weight loss jabs in specific areas in Scotland. The Chancellor condemned the largest Conservative MPs who are accessing them via the NHS.
What do we think then? First story, any ideas? Ria?
Is one of the stories the budget from this week?
Yes, Wednesday was, of course, Budget Day. Chancellor Rachel Reeves delivered her budget after the details were released early by mistake. The Chancellor is traditionally allowed to drink alcohol whilst making the annual budget speech, although there was a bit of confusion when Rachel Reeves ordered a White Russian and Nigel Farage turned up.
Thank goodness I'm a comedian. I have no money, so it really doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to be paid more at any point. I mean, I love that she billed it as the fairness budget, then immediately introduced, is it 3p per mile if you drive an electric car? A new tax? It's like, so basically we're being punished for trying to save the planet early. Okay, great. They froze tax thresholds, but then said, no, we haven't broken our manifesto promise. And I was like, okay, so that's basically like saying, I didn't put up the price of chips, but I have made the bag smaller and introduced a fork charge.
Well, the budget is out there. It's in the world. Raymond, it was long anticipated. What are your thoughts on the budget?
Well, free pence on electric vehicles so that mobility scooters going on Gumtree. Well, I just can't afford to run it anymore. I'll need to buy a pair of Skechers.
Athena, I'll bring you in here. This budget was long anticipated. We've been talking about it for quite a while. What were your thoughts on Rachel Reeves' budget?
It's a bit like Ria said, we're not putting up income tax, but we're going to make it so you pay more tax in the future. And I thought that was a nice turn of phrase. It's a bit like me saying, I'm not going to drop the guillotine on your head. What I'm going to do is raise you up into the blades.
Yeah. Ria, we're talking about what this budget means for us as individuals, but what does it mean for Scotland? Have you had a look at that?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. So they obviously raised the two-child cap limit for everybody. You already had 155 million that you'd put aside to make sure that anyone with more than... How many kids do you have, Jim?
Just the two.
Oh, just the two. Okay, so I think what's wonderful about this, Jim, is you can now have more kids. So just start popping them out. Have more kids. And then in about 5 years, you get to take them all to Kirkcaldy on a really nice holiday. And I think that's the real win of this budget.
That's a phrase I thought I'd never hear.
Raymond, what are you thinking then? This budget, we're talking about individuals, but what does it mean for Scotland?
Well, they're probably going to open Jackie O's back up in Kirkcaldy, man.
Jim, what about you? We're talking about the budget for the nation, but what are you budgeting for at the moment?
Well, my fancy ram that I bought, that's the male sheep, by the way, if you all watch Sparks and Sparks. Well, after 10 days with the owls going at it, he's dead. Stone dead. I spent £800 on him. I was raging and I burst into the kitchen and I said to Maura, my partner, my two daughters, Alice and Emma. I says, that bloody top stone deed. She says, Daddy, you can't say stuff like that anymore. What you should have said is that the daddy sheep has made the journey to the Rainbow Bridge. Isn't that beautiful? It's really nice. And we weren't lying, because the Rainbow Bridge is the name of a very good kebab shop in Dundee.
In amongst all of that, well done, the right answer was correct. Of course, we're talking about Chancellor Rachel Reeves and the budget. By tradition, the Chancellor is allowed to drink alcohol whilst making the annual budget speech to Parliament. However, the tradition has fallen away in the last 25 years after Ken Clarke ended his budget statement by shouting, "I bet you £10 I can jump here that bench." Over to you now, Athena and Jim. What was the other story we were after?
This has to be the use of weight loss jabs in Scotland. I think 300,000 people are buying them privately.
This is the news that nearly 5% of the population of Scotland, approximately 300,000 people, are accessing weight loss drugs privately. It's estimated that around 2 million people across the UK are receiving drugs such as Wegovy and Mounjaro outside the NHS. Jim, what do you think about this then? Are you surprised to hear this, how many people are accessing weight loss jags in Scotland?
Like, I could do this job, but I'm being a farmer, I'm looking into diversification. And we've got all the gear for, because I can jag 500 yows in 2 hours, so we could just get everyone in, so we could weigh the person and work out the dosage, and then boom, boom, jag them all. None of this changing the needle stuff, but just get them all.
Although trying to jag 500 yows in 2 hours, I think that's what killed your ram, was it not?
Well,
Ria, what do you think about this? It's an amazing stat. Are you surprised to hear how many people in Scotland are accessing weight loss jabs?
I'm surprised by a lot of it. I'm surprised by how much people are paying for it, 180 quid per pen. I mean, I just flew into Paisley last night and I just got some weight loss jabs for like 50 quid, although they called it heroin.
Many people say this has transformed their life. But what about you, Athena? What has transformed your life?
I would say I'm one of those tedious people that run. I started running over 20 years ago, and now the far right are coming back. I'm thrilled because I can outrun them. I've got 20 years of training. They'll never catch me. So I thought that was a good decision.
Jim, what has transformed your life?
the internet. When we finally got it into the village there. It was long needed. The pigeon had been dead for about 2 years, so I met Morag through the internet. So but then because we're all chuchters, I had to cross her name and meet my ancestor.com just to make sure there was no.
Ria, what has transformed your life?
Divorce! 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 You know what? My divorce actually was a lot like the budget. It was supposedly fair, but ordinary people like me are paying a lot for it. And it couldn't have happened without us breaking every single promise we ever made.
There you go. But Raymond, what has transformed your life?
Uber Eats. You've never lived until you've had a sausage supper through the letterbox. Nothing like it.
And there we go. Well done for getting the right answer. In amongst all of that, we're talking about the number of Scottish people accessing weight loss jabs. Researchers have previously discovered that people who stop using weight loss jabs put the weight back on in a study entitled Duh. Well done, Athena and Jim. You get 2 points for that. It was the mashup of Rachel Reeves' budget and the rise of weight loss jabs here in Scotland. And well done. At the end of that round, it is 2 points apiece. Now, much of our news is about public opinion, so to find out what stories people are talking about, we spoke to two friends of the show, the Hebridean baker, Cúnheach MacLeod, and STV entertainment reporter, Laura Boyd. So, Athena and Jim, what is Cúnheach on about here?
This research really does surprise me. Maybe we're all quite late bloomers after all, because I thought life began at 40, but maybe it actually begins at 66.
Is it about something that a new study about there's 4 stages of brain development or something like that?
Jim, that is the right answer. Yes, scientists have revealed this week that contrary to what was previously thought, adolescence lasts up until your 30s. In a conference speech, researchers from Cambridge University identified key brain development ages at 1, 9, 32, 66 and 83, at which point somebody at the back shouted, "House!" Did you feel like an adult at 32?
No, not at all. I was still living with my mum and dad at 32, so I remember I got lost at the Highland Show, and you know, and they do the tone you know, hello, there's a young farmer here. Would Mrs. Smith please? Could Mrs. Smith please come to the security? We've got a man-child here crying his eyes out.
So you certainly hadn't outgrown it at that point. No. Athena, what's your take on this one? Adolescence lasting until the age of 32. Did you feel like an adult then at 32?
I thought was an adult at the time, and then reading this news, I'm like, of course I wasn't an adult. And I'll tell you something, when you are an adolescent, you think you're an adult and you think you're sensible, so you do silly things, but in an adult way. So I remember on my 30th birthday, I went out with some friends and got like incredibly drunk, obviously, but I thought, I'm an adult, I can get myself home. And then I was like, I'm going to be sick, by the way. And then I was sick, but I had been drinking red wine, so it was all red wine. But then I was like, I'm the adult here, I can fix this. And I had a sanitary towel in my bag. And so I cleaned up the red wine with my sanitary towel. And then I thought, God, this looks like a white feminist protest. But then I was so proud of myself cleaning up the red wine sick with my sanitary towel. So no, I wasn't an adult at 30. I was a goddamn mess.
Oh, Raymond, what a study this is. Did you feel like an adult at 32?
No. See, before the age of 9, I was like, I didn't know what was going on, right? And then but the age of 9, I was a genius at school. I was amazing at everything. And then all through secondary school, up to the age of 32, I never bought my first house till I was 32.
So the numbers work for you then?
These numbers are bang on, by the way. I mean, I get slapped in the head a lot up to the age of 9. And when the slapping stopped, there was massive efficiency kicked in.
I'm so conflicted by this study. As a scientist, as a parent, I mean, first of all, childhood ends at 9. Like, part of me feels robbed of my own childhood. The other part of me is going, why haven't my kids been working all this time?
Well, I was working at 9 on the farm and things like that. I was dedicated to my farming. I mean, I got my forklift certificate before I could get my cycle proficiency test, you know.
Raymond, what do you make of this one? Looking back, if you could do this, what advice would you give your younger self?
You're going to meet a beautiful woman in Bangkok in 2008. She's not a woman.
The research divides life into 5 stages: childhood, adolescence, adulthood, early ageing and late ageing, or as we call them in Scotland, Wayne, wee man, big man, Olgin and Deed. Now to you, Raymond and Ria, it's your turn. What do you think Laura is talking about here?
You should surely be allowed to have a pint or a Blue Wicked, in my case, don't judge me, I'm from Bishopbriggs, on your own in peace. They can't bar people. This pub needs to get over it.
This is this fancy cocktail bar and you're not allowed to go in on your Todd after 9 o'clock.
Yes, that is correct. Hospitality workers have been questioning why a bar owner in Greater Manchester has banned solo drinkers from his establishment after 9 p.m. The Alibi in Altrincham, which established this rule, is also a karaoke bar. Not long after the news broke, one patron was heard singing, "All the single ladies, please immediately leave the venue." Raymond, what a story. What are your thoughts on this policy then?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, see, I like to go to the boozer myself, right? I mean, I like to... What I'll do, I'll go in and I'll order a meal. I'll go to the Indian or the Chinese or whatever. And the guy will go, no bother, 15, 20 minutes. And I'll go in the German cruiser. I'll get in the boozer myself. And then after 40 minutes, I'll go, do you want to put it under the heat lamps? And then I'll be back in the house, stagger round at 12:30 and go, Did I have a curry?
Ria, what are your thoughts on this policy?
The guy said that he did it because he didn't want them to threaten his customers. I have a real news for you. If you think lonely people are the biggest threat to your customers, you're going to blow your mind when you hear about stag do's. And I don't even want to begin to traumatize you with the concept of a hen do. But I mean, if you're really worried that much about harassment, maybe ban groups of men on their 5th Jaeger bomb and not that one woman who just wants a quiet G&T while she Googles, how do I move to Copenhagen?
I once went to a cocktail bar in Edinburgh, this was before I met Morag, and I was at the Fringe, and I was killing it at the Fringe, and I thought it was dead, hip and trendy, but obviously being the big chook there, I was well at my depth, so I'm in this posh cocktail bar in George Street, and I'm chatting up this merchant banker, this 31-year-old lassie. I think I'm doing all right, you know, but you see, city girls, they've just got a different language from country boy chookters, you can, because I didn't know that the term to plough was a sexual term in the city, you know. And she's like, Jim, do you like to plough? And I'm like, aye, I love ploughing. I could plough all night long. She's like, really? How'd you keep that up? I says, well, if we're going at it long enough, I'll just get Mum to come out with a sandwich.
Well, from ploughing to this question, what do you like to do by yourself?
But there's one thing I want to do by myself, and you miss this a lot when you have children. I've got a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, and I just really want to eat a packet of crisps by myself. Oh God, they have average hearing until you open a crisp packet, and then they're just there. Where did you come from? They come from school. You shouldn't be here. Oh, I haven't enjoyed a packet of crisps by myself for 7 years.
Wow. And that, of course, was the right answer. Talking about a bar in Altrincham saying no to solo drinkers after 9 p.m. Yes, the bar manager in question managed to rumble one solo drinker recently who'd snuck in pretending to be 3 kids in a trench coat. Yes, the confusion surrounding a late-night solo entry ban is the right answer. 2 points go to Raymond and Ria. This is Breaking the News from BBC Scotland with me, Des Clark. Now, this round is all about who's in the news. I will play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So, Raymond and Ria, you're first this time. Who is this?
You can be anxious, sensitive, kind, and wear your heart on your sleeve. You can be a nerd, a crier, a hugger. You can be all of these things.
Jacinda Ardern.
That is Jacinda Ardern, who was in Glasgow for a screening of a documentary film about her time as Prime Minister of New Zealand. While speaking at the event, she likened her time as Prime Minister to that of Nicola Sturgeon. Ria, do you see the comparison?
I do see the comparison. Overachieving women burns out while trying to keep a small country functioning, retires with a memoir and a documentary, and still gets fewer forgiveness points than a bloke who can't tell you how many children he has.
Raymond, do you see the comparison?
Aye, I'm very similar. They're progressive. They went on pride marches and all that sort of stuff, except if Jacinda Ardern had been Prime Minister of Scotland, she wouldn't have had their teeth. She's got lovely teeth. She's like the Jurgen Klopp, innit?
I hope Jacinda does see a bit of the country. Go up the North Coast 500 and see our beautiful country, because it is similar to New Zealand. If only she knew someone with a camper van. So...
whilst here, Jacinda Ardern revealed that her memoir, A Different Kind of Power, was almost named Fortitude. This was a nod to her Scottish Clan MacRae heritage. Clan MacRae's motto is Fortitudine. So what should your family motto be and why? Try and beat Fortitudine. What do you think, Ria? What should your family motto be and why?
I think my family motto would probably be, we told you so, but you weren't listening.
Raymond Mearns, what about you? What should your family motto be and why?
Steaming.
Athena, on the subject of family mottos, what should your family motto be and why?
These are Mummy's crisps.
Well done for that answer, by the way, Jacinda Ardern and our visit to Scotland. Jacinda Ardern said she planned to visit her grandmother's hometown of Bathgate during her trip to Scotland, making her the first person in history to voluntarily go to West Lothian. Right, over to you, Athena and Jim. It's your turn now. Who is this and why are they in the news?
Walt Disney called me about the part. He took me around and showed me the storyboards. The Sherman Brothers played me the score, and I just went. It was my dream to do a Walt Disney movie.
Yeah, that is definitely Dick Van Dyke. And he's turning 100, I think.
Yeah, what a legend. Well done in giving us the right answer, Athena. That was, of course, Dick Van Dyke. He has been promoting his new book, 100 Rules for Living to 100, as he prepares to reach the ripe old age of 100 in just a couple of weeks' time. When Dick Van Dyke sadly does finally pass away, he has asked to be cremated for one last trip through the chimney, chim chim chim. Sorry, Dick. He is a legend, Athena. What are you thinking then? Would you take life advice from Dick Van Dyke?
Yeah, but his advice would be a famous movie star and rich and get all the healthcare you need and marry someone half your age, which I'm 44 now. I don't want to marry a 22-year-old and go to his house and he's got a bunk bed. Do you know what I mean? And a Transformers duvet. No, so I don't know what advice he has personally for me, but good luck to him.
He takes 5 sugars in his tea every day. But that woman tell him it was just meant to be a spoonful.
That is true. By the way, that's legitimate what Jim just said there in terms of his diet. He does take that. Dick Van Dyke has credited his longevity to his daily habits. He doesn't drink or smoke. He dances as exercise and has 5 cubes of sugar in his morning coffee, which is almost exactly the same lifestyle as a dressage horse. Well, there you go, Dick Van Dyke, almost 100, Rhea, and still going strong. Would you take life advice from Dick Van Dyke?
Okay, let's put it this way. He's 100 years old. He survived Hollywood. He survived a car crash. He got rescued from like a hurricane or something. He still goes to the gym 3 times a week. He has 5 sugars in his coffee. He eats ice cream every night. And he's outlived everybody who's told us don't eat sugar. So at this point, he's like a controlled clinical trial. I would totally want to get on that trial if it's going to last me to 100.
He must be doing something right. He says he works out 3 times a week. I'm hitting 58. I've worked out 3 times in my life. In fact, I'm planning the 3rd one. So he's obviously doing something right. But he said you shouldn't go into bitterness. I think that's the thing, stress and bitterness. And if you're living your life, I'm not sure, but I've had family members who seem to live a long time, and what kept them alive was bile. Right? So I don't know. Confusing message here.
What about you, Jim? We've got this new book from Dick Van Dyke, All the Advice for Living to 100. But what could you write a book on?
I don't know, 100 great neeps.
I thought, in my head, I'm thinking, has he got a punchline here? No. Surely you're going to say that'd be a turn up for the books. Dick Van Dyke's Cockney accent in Mary Poppins was voted one of the 3 worst movie star accents of all time, alongside Tom Cruise's Irish accent in Far and Away and Gerard Butler's Scottish accent in real life. Well done. Of course, Dick Van Dyke is the right answer, and 2 points go to Athena and Jim. It's time now for our final quick-fire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. I will read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
They're buzzing like a jar of bees.
That is Martin Geisler there, caught up in a sting operation. So let's go for this. 1 in 3 people admit to doing what at work? Rhea.
Oh, eating the entire bag of crisps because her kids aren't there.
I love that. Let's keep this going. That's lovely. 1 in 3 people admit to doing what at work? Jim?
Watching that Kenny McLean goal. Glorious! Glorious!
Oh, just for that, you're getting a bonus point. We're all doing it. Yes, 1 in 3 people admit to doing what at work? Raymond?
Rattle in the stationery cupboard. I'm having that stapler, man.
No, that's a great answer. I know why you've gone there. It's not. It's no. I thought rattling might take us there, but not quite. 1 in 3 people admit to doing what at work? Athena?
Oh, stealing teaspoons.
It's not stealing, no. 1 in 3 people admit to doing what at work? Jim?
Is it pumping someone on the photocopier?
The actual answer is that 1 in 3 people admit to having an office romance, according to a new survey. But as crude as Jim's answer was, actually, I'm going to give you the point for that. Well done, Jim.
They're buzzing like a jar of bees.
Oh, there he is. That is our klaxon. Martin is Geisler. That means it's all over. And at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Raymond Mearns and Ria Lina. It was so close. Commiserations to Athena Kugblenu and Jim Smith. And we'll leave you with the breaking news. Breaking news just in. A man is under investigation for benefit fraud after dressing up as his dead mother in order to claim her pension. Well, there goes that plan taken off the tiara, said Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Scottish MP Gordon McKee has gone viral for explaining the national debt using custard creams. His video has been viewed nearly 2 million times, inspiring him to film more biscuit-themed political videos. He'll explain pensions with digestives, by-elections with Gary Baldies, and explain Reform UK with a bunch of hobnobs. And Donald Trump has performed the annual Thanksgiving ceremony at the White House to pardon a turkey called Gobble. The strange-looking creature with the saggy neck is halfway through his second term as President of the United States. The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye!
Nina and Evie are just 2 sisters. One's getting married and the other isn't happy about it. All episodes of Dinosaur are available now on iPlayer.